Well, the weekend started off really strong. You know, Friday evening we had a practice session which everyone got, and we actually ended up pole, and with a fairly decent time for the first evening's practice. And it seems to have all gone wrong since then.
Obviously, it's a far better situation than we had at Thruxton. The bike works, you know, in a better range here. We're back to our regular tyre options. So we've got the softer tyre, which delivers a bit more grip.
I thought we were actually into, you know, it looked really promising. I thought we were in for a really good weekend. Obviously, this is my local round, the team's local round as well. And I struggled to get anywhere near that pace again all weekend. And to be honest, the biggest problem is I can't tell you why.
We had a practice here on Friday night, which was an extra on top of what we would normally have on a BSB weekend. So that was helpful to kind of go through some settings and kind of refine where we want to go and the direction we want to go with the bike. But unfortunately, everyone else gets that same opportunity to do those practices as well. So every time we feel like we've made a little step, so it feels like everyone else has as well. So we sort of stay in the same position.
I don't really understand why we have not had the speed that we should have had. And that's really difficult to understand. And I can't, if you don't know what's wrong, how can you fix it? You know, the bike actually feels pretty good. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but no bike ever is perfect. I can't understand why I'm so far off the pace, and Josh is pretty much in the same boat, really. We've tried all sorts. The team's been working super hard behind the scenes. We've got, you know, loads and loads going on, and it's just hasn't clicked this weekend.
The lap times early on in the weekend sort of seemed competitive. You know, it was looking good, but you know, after we had a little bit of rain yesterday, the track grip level seems to drop a little bit, and then I can't repeat sort of like the lap times I have done before. So I don't know if it's like a drop in the performance for us or if it's just a drop in the performance of the track, but we haven't really been able to repeat the lap times that we need to do.
Unfortunately, I can't tell you why, and that's super hard to swallow. It's super hard to take, but that's the way it is sometimes. You know, it's really frustrating. It can be this game, but that's also what makes bike racing so good in the end as well, because when you do have days and weekends like this, and then you do get to overcome it, that's what makes that such a big achievement when you do finally get at the front and fix all these problems and end up with really good weekends. It makes the highs really high because the lows can be super low, you know.
On top of that, this morning we tried a few variations in morning warm-up, actually crashed. So definitely not an improvement. You know, the crash indicates that, but you know, we just got to keep smiling, keep going.
Yeah, I say us as a team, you know, we're all frustrated. We know how fast Josh is, we know how fast I am, we know how fast the bike can be, we know how good the team is and the people in the team. We know all the ingredients are there, but for some reason at the moment, we're just not extracting everything out of it and getting the result that we all deserve. So it's times like this when you find how good the team actually is, and to make sure none of us are pointing fingers at each other, none of us are falling out with each other and blaming each other. It's all going to be keeping our heads up and trying to do the best we can do and get back to where we should be. And it is really times like this when it's really hard, that's when you really find out how good your team is. And I already know how good the FHO Racing team is, so that bit's not the problem. We just need to try and figure out what the problem is to be able to go faster.
How has my weekend been? Well, to be fair, pretty good, because we've just finished 19th, which is my highest result so far. Qualified 17th in the wet, which is again my highest qualifying so far. I'm having a little bit of frustrations with the setup of the bike just because of my weight. I'm not quite heavy enough, and like in some of the places, like over the mountain here, it kicks me up out of the seat just because the suspension's not quite soft enough. But yeah, overall, I've had a good weekend. I've had a good weekend racing. We've just come in from the race, and I was with a group of like 6 or 7 people. I didn't manage to get to the front, to be honest. I got like halfway up and then a couple had come back, and then I'd get like halfway up and then a couple had come back. So that's kind of frustrating, but I went down into the 39, so I've gone faster again. And then obviously you outride your setup when you go faster, so it's just kind of what happens. But we've got a base to work off for next year, because we will be coming back next year, so yeah, excited.
Round 7, the BMW F900 Cup, Cadwell Park, probably like one of my favourite tracks. I've grown up here racing many years ago, and another great round for us, topping every session. Some quite impressive lap times for the old 900. slightly extended the championship lead. I'd like to have done it by a few more points, but Thomas has kept us honest this weekend. 2 more rounds to go. It's not over by a long shot, so we need to keep the pressure on and keep performing the way we are. Great results around, and not much more to say really. It's been a successful one.